What's up guys, you're watching BassQuest, and today we're going to talk about the #1 fastest way that you can locate and catch big bass in the fall, and we're about to jump right into it. But first we're going to address this problem. I'm seeing it with a lot of videos related to fall bass fishing, including my own videos. You know, there's a lot of great videos out there about where to locate the bass. General seasonal patterns, such as if you go into the creeks, you can follow the fish. You know, follow the fish on the travel routes of the creek channel to the back of the creek. That's where the bass will be in the fall. Or find the bait and find the fish in the fall. Those are good tips in general to catch fish in the fall time. But the thing I see that's overlooked is, okay, when I get back in these areas, when I follow the best practices to find the fish in the fall, what is the fastest way to actually locate the fish? Because as you guys know, a lot of these creeks are really big that we're fishing, right? And I've got some great videos out there recently about map studies for the fall. If you look back in some of my playlists, and I'll probably link them right here. But it's important to find smaller areas to break down first. That'll give you a good idea of what the fish are doing and make things a little easier on you. But in this video, we're going to talk about the fastest way that you can actually locate, pinpoint these fish once you're in the general location, so that you can catch the most fish that you possibly can and the biggest fish that you possibly can. So one of the things that you see is this advent of new technology that we have in the fishing industry right now. You know, it started out with our 2D sonar, then we got mapping, GPS mapping. We have the ability to side scan and down scan to really see what's going on under the water. And now we have the livescope technology, which gives you the ability to see in real time what's going on in front of your boat, whether in horizontal or in vertical position. So you would think that getting out there with a livescope is going to be the fastest thing, right? I got back to the creek, I found the bait, I'm going to livescope around and see the fish. No, that's not the fastest. Maybe you think that, well, heck, I can idle faster than I can troll, so I'm going to side scan this area and find the fish. No, that's still not the best thing. You might be thinking, if you're a fan of this channel, we're going to talk about map studies, which is when you do research in advance or research when you're out on the water to see in that general area where the best area should be to find the fish. But that's not the case either. The best thing that you can do to find fish fast in the fall and get right on top of them is use these. Use your eyes. Keep your eyes up. You don't need to be glued to your technology this time of year, because a lot of times these fish are spread out in vast areas and they're keyed in on bait. So what are you going to see? What are you looking for? You're looking for birds. I'm looking for birds out there. I'm looking for bait fish activity. Now, bait fish activity is not going to tell me everything, and birds are not going to tell me everything. What I really, really want to see is predatory fish of some kind. That could be striper, that could be white bass, that could be yellow bass. Anything rolling, even crappie at times will bird dog the bass for you. And of course, you're also looking for bass. If you pay attention long enough, if you're out on the water long enough, spend enough hours out there, you'll begin to realize what the individual bites of these fish, so when I say bites, topwater blow-ups of these fish sound like. And you can start to narrow down what you're looking for. And then you can also start to see where the bigger fish are. A lot of times they're going to porpoise completely out of the water. You're going to see that there's fish schooling in an area. Say you're in the back of this creek. You got a big expansive flat. You're seeing schooling activity over here. You're seeing schooling activity over here. I'm looking for the area that I'm consistently seeing the big fish, and you'll see that in a lot of lakes. It doesn't matter what kind of lake it is, guys. I'm talking highland reservoirs. You know, a lot of times in the fall they'll get back in these creeks and it'll be a deep creek. It'll be more like a canyon or a ridge, and those fish will sit and suspend in the middle of that. Another thing that they do in highland reservoirs is they'll have a side of the lake that they will favor, whether it's the south end or the north end, if it's fed by a river system. Depending on where the hot or cool water is, where the water clarity is. And another thing on a highland reservoir is wind direction. When you have a heavy wind direction in one way or another, it's going to corral the bait for the fish and help them locate it. So that gives you a good idea of where these fish are going to be. On a lowland reservoir, such as, you know, Tennessee River lakes, it's going to be a little bit different. There's more current. It's a more current driven fishery. And so you can find fish that are related to the current that's coming out of these creeks. You can find fish that are also related to wind. But a lot of times they're going to be, again, kind of spread out in the middle of these creek channels and creeks. But in general, they're going to be shallower, because as you get off the main channel of a lowland reservoir, you're going to see a lot shallower areas where they flooded the original land around it. It's different in a highland reservoir because it's much steeper, it's more mountainous, and so you naturally have deeper areas that are flooded. But I just want to reiterate, guys, use your eyes. Time and time again, I have had phenomenal days on the water by just seeing a single predatory fish roll in the middle of the flat. I'm talking one roll. And it happens all the way as we transition into wintertime. If you see activity out there, you see predatory fish activity out there, you need to go check it out, because a lot of times there'll be a massive wad. A lot of the population of bass in that area will be located right underneath where that one fish gave it away, the Judas fish. That's what you're looking for. Now for this, guys, timing is key. What you'll notice, so in the fall, what we've got as we transition into the fall time of the year, the days are getting shorter. That's what really causes these fish to get in a fall feeding frenzy, so to speak, is that the days are starting to truncate. We're getting longer and colder nights, and there's an urgency for these fish to feed. And so what I've personally found is no matter what the kind of lake that I'm on, the afternoon tends to be the best time to scout, to get out there and actually visually see these fish, find where the biggest populations of fish are, because what happens is it gives them all day to corral bait, to group back up as schools, and then actually to school on that bait and have a really heavy feeding window in the middle to late afternoon. What happens at night a lot of times in the fall is these fish, the big schools of fish will actually disperse into smaller wolf packs, and they're a little bit harder to target in the morning, and maybe it won't give you a full picture of the amount of fish in the area or what's going on because they haven't got the bait positioned and they're not feeding the way that they will in the afternoon. That being said, if you're a tournament guy, I know a lot of guys that practice for tournaments, they get off the water at weigh-in time, right? Because I don't need to know what happened after this point because it's not going to help me during the tournament. And this time of year, it can't be further from the truth, because that's what's going to give you that chance. If you're riding around checking creeks, and you find the area, it's like, wow, this creek has bigger than average bait that I'm seeing flicking. Wow, this creek has bigger than average fish blowing up in it, and there's a ton of fish blowing up in it. That gives you excellent key information that you can capitalize on the next morning going into the middle of the day when you're going to have your tournament weigh-in. If you want to learn more, especially about locating these fish, like the keys on how to locate these fish, where they're going to be in general, and how to narrow that spot down, I've got some videos that I'm going to post up here for you. What I'm trying to do with my channel is get a catalog of information that you can use in an easy way to get out there and catch more fish. This is just one video related to that. I have a lot of videos on fall fishing. You need to check out the channel, because this is just one step and a lot of keys that are going to give you a lot more success this fall. In the next video, we're probably going to do a map study specifically related to Chickamauga Lake, because I know a lot of my audience really enjoys my content related to Chickamauga. So we're going to focus in on that for the next video, and then we're going to get broad in some of the videos to come. Guys, there's more content coming down the pipe. I don't know if everyone knows, but I'm going to get my captain's license. So I'm actually going to try to start guiding at least part-time, maybe full-time. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. Thank you for sticking with me. If you like the video, please give me that thumbs up and subscribe, because it's free to you and it really helps me out. And share this information with your buddies. Right now you're seeing 2 videos up on the screen. Those are the ones that YouTube recommends that you watch next. So click on them. Let's see it. Guys, I hope this week finds you out in the water, and I'll catch you there.